Hey guys, surprise, surprise. I'm down here in LA, Santa Monica Courthouse, obviously. We got Dan the man holding the, I bet he hates hearing that. we got Dan Corrigan helping.
People call you daddy, but that's something that literally my dad says is Dan the man.
Yeah, okay, what we're here for is to settle it once and for all. How tall is the Courthouse stage? I've wondered this forever. I've heard so many things like, oh, it's about as tall as a board. No,
Lies.
It's not. That's like 4 or 5 inches shorter, right? Like a board is tall. When I asked Dan how tall it is, he said it's uncomfortably tall. Looking at this, it's true. Some people are like, oh, it's over knee height. It's like, yeah, it's over knee height if you have giant shins like me. But what is it? Let's just get to it. I'm dragging this on. So it's lower than I thought. It's a lot lower than I thought. It's about, I'm gonna put my board out so we can really gauge it here.
Your straight stick.
It's 26 inches. Right at the sweet spot, it's 26 inches, which is actually a lot lower than I thought. It doesn't mean that it's low. It's just like, most people said, oh, it's around 30 inches. It's not, it's lower than 30. So I have not done anything on this thing yet. I think it's time I ollie up, but I'm not trying anything crazy today, but I am pretty stoked just to be trying anything on it. So let's give it a try.
Oh, you're ready to go. What do you think, first go?
I don't want to.
I think he's stepping off first go.
I really actually don't want to ollie up this.
Well, you have to. You're here.
So I was trying to cheat and go like that, and just probably if I just do it once and get it over with, then we can stop complaining.
Oh, you could have done.
That was like a really pathetic half-assed effort.
All right, my money's on this try. I think he's gonna do it. Or he slips backwards when he gets into it.
I hope that everyone can appreciate that when I had a chance to do a trick off the stage, I literally did an early melon.
You did a street grab. I've never been so proud of you in my life.
Okay, it wasn't that bad. It was uncomfortably tall, but it actually didn't hurt my knee. I'll pop up it a couple more times, but like, there's no way I'm committing to any sort of manuals.
Oh, I was literally about to say, if you don't switch early grab off, I'm gonna be so bummed.
I mean, like, it was an early fakie indie, or was it a switch mute? I know just how stoked people are on these rad tricks off of it.
The fact that you have a repertoire of early grab variations. Damn.
That thing is so rounded over, it's almost hard to hold on to.
Do the curve side. The curve side's the easiest part. Oh, you know what you must do.
No, I'm not trying that.
Okay.
It's tall and super slick.
Yeah, it's waxed up. Oh, you're on top of that one.
So that's the washed up special, the washed up 90s Pro special. If you haven't seen that video where I like pretend to hurl and stuff, basically like in the early 2000s, there was like every washed up pro and their dog had a picture of a front nose on a tall ledge because they were probably like in the middle of a road trip, super hungover, hadn't skated in weeks, and that was like all they could try. Take it. One more thing. I know that people need to see like one real trick off it, and that's all.
They already saw it though. You did fakey mute grab.
Okay, we found the weak spot in Venture Lows here, Wheel Bite City, when you jump off something. My board almost zooted out at the dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll take it. I'm super done, you guys. Let's check out a few other things, just in case you were wondering. But I did a bunch of skating, and it's gonna be on Dan's channel. I know you guys know Dan, and I'm sure you watch his videos, but if you don't, check him out. That's like the YouTubiest I've sounded in a while. But yeah, let's get the tape measure out, measure a few more things. All right, you guys, so on this side, it's like 26 1/4. Kind of a sweet spot right here where it ramps up is like 25 1/2. So it grows 3/4 of an inch this way. And then when you get right here, the ground starts to dive down. Here we are looking at 27 1/2. So that's 1.5 inches taller than over there. The middle, 28. And then the end, 29. So it's a solid 3 inches taller right here than it is in the sweet spot that Dan was talking about. And then right here, we got a legitimate little loading dock at just about 29 inches. That's the same as it was there, wasn't it? Yeah, but it definitely feels taller. Jumping up this side would be a lot harder. That's why you don't see people do it much. So one of my favorite lines here is Kareem Campbell in, I believe it's 20 shot sequence. Comes down here, kick flips up this stairs, which is like, I don't know how big it was back then because this concrete's newer for sure. But I love that line. Kick flips up here, tray flips down the stairs. And I can't even remember what he does after, but that line was pretty cool. Now we gotta go look at the other stairs, which are super classic spot from the Goldfish video. Okay, this ledge. This one's a really nice height, perfect. It's 13 1/2 inches. This one is 12 1/2, so it's 1 inch lower, and you can feel it when you're skating them. 12 3/4. And it's obviously gonna vary along the length of the ledge, but roughly. This one's definitely taller, 16 inches. Like that's a pretty big jump in ledge height. Okay, the out ledges. We gotta measure the out ledges. They're taller than I thought. And I think the other side's even taller, but 23 inches. That's a formidable ledge. So anything you've seen on here, especially like a gnarlier trick that's, you know, like a switchback tail or Chris Roberts tricks on the other side are super gnar in my opinion. Let's measure that one. Okay, so this one is almost 24. So it's a little bit higher, like by a degree. And when I look at this thing and I picture how slick it probably was on top, to think about Chris Roberts doing a held nose grind, and in my opinion, even gnarlier, a 5.0, is so crazy. So yeah, this got gnarlier after I saw it.
Wait, so 2 inches smaller than the stage?
Yes, it's only 2 inches smaller than the stage. So if you imagine they're skating the stage all the time, maybe that's why something like this seemed more doable. Yeah. Okay, let's check how long this is. Dan's gonna be on the dumb end.
Yep.
Okay, 24 to right here. It's like 24 plus 9 1/2. So what are we looking at, 33 1/2?
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 1/2 feet long is how long you gotta hold this thing, minus your length to jump into it. So like, you know, a solid 30 foot grind or slide or whatever it is you're doing. Crazy big ledge. Anyways, let's get to those steps. All right, guys, we're gonna check the actual step height here. So the step itself is 6 inches, which is actually kind of a low step. Yeah, just under 6 inches. And then the bottom step is like 3 inches, so a half step. If we just say, what is that, 18 plus 3, we're looking at 21 inches roughly over here. Down at the end where people would usually start their lines, it's even lower. But this spot for me, you guys, is so classic. Like I just think of, you know, Costin's line, like switch heel up, fakie heel down. He does another line where he does inward heel up. and then fakey heel down, and like both times I think he does a trick into the fountain. The other one he does a switch flip back tail on the ledge over there. You know, I watched those video parts over and over and over again. Like, I would say Goldfish is probably the most formative video in my skateboarding personally. Like, that's the one that I would watch every day. I'd be like, that's how you do flip tricks. This is the correct form. That was one of my favorite times in skating. It's when like the clothes stopped being ridiculous. It actually looks the same as today, right? We got the uniform, you know, and I'm pretty close. Blue pants, white shirt, and it's all through that video, the same fit. And a lot of the same classic shoes that people are skating now were in those videos. And that's the first video, like I said, where you can see that they have really started to refine stuff. There's very few sketchy tricks in that video, truly sketchy tricks. So when I want to get stoked, I think about that video, or I watch a video like that, because for one, it's still semi-achievable for me, some of the tricks in that, right? So I get stoked on that. Like, I don't watch the gnarliest skating because like it doesn't inspire me to go out and try stuff, right? I like things that are more relatable, so that's why I love Goldfish so much. So you guys, it almost doesn't even feel real to actually be here looking at this, knowing what's gone down on it. But really quickly before we go, let's look at the other side of the steps. Okay, so right here you can see that that is legitimately 2 inches lower than the other side, and 2 inches makes a big difference in what tricks you may or may not try. So like the tricks that went down here, right? Again, like I said, Eric Costin's inward heel. We got Ronnie Krieger backside flipping up it, switch tray down the other side, almost running into the light pole. Like, I remember all of this. It's seared into my brain. I'll never forget it. The songs, the clothes, the tricks. Jerron Wilson's frontside flip up where he steps off and it's like almost not even a make, but you know he probably worked so darn hard on that line that was just the best one he got that day and they put it in. I mean, I still love that. Like, even though it was, you know, a debatable make, like he got up there, he did it, and like I still remember being like, man, I could tell he was a teenager, only like a couple of years older than me. And he's frontside flipping up what looked to me on camera to be a 4-stair, even though a small one, right? It's just like, and we're talking 94, probably late 93, early 94. So it's really cool to be here. I'm super stoked to have gotten to skate here before it's gone. I don't know if I'll skate here again on this trip. I might, it's a lot of fun, but even if I don't, I'm stoked on what I was able to get here while it's here. Anyways, you guys, this video for the day is done. Hopefully we get some more stuff out of this trip. It's the first day. I want to say a big thanks to Dan for filming. So thank you, Dan. It's good to have you here, so thank you.
Yeah,
anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. Now you know a little more about the Santa Monica Courthouse. Beautiful place. West LA Courthouse, as they call it. That's not what we called it growing up. It was Santa Monica Courthouse, as it was known in videos and magazines.
Well, a lot of people will search Santa Monica Courthouse and go to the wrong courthouse.
Oh, really?
There is one. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Okay, we're done. Thanks, guys. See ya.